Welcome back everybody to another Geometry Dash 2.2 tutorial. Have you ever played Dash and was like, oh my god, that tower part is so cool, how do I create that? Well, today I'm going to be teaching you exactly how to do that step for step, so let's just get straight into it. My tutorials are, as always, super duper beginner friendly, so yeah, make sure to slap the subscribe and the like right now because we're trying to hit 100,000 on this channel as well. But for now, what we're going to do is we're simply just going to add a bunch of blocks like so. And I have this block right here, and I'm going to give it the group ID of 1. And I'm just going to make it start over there by going to here in the settings. And now if I start, it's going to start up here. So I'm just going to go like straight into the tower. I'm not going to have any gameplay before it. So let's just say this is your gameplay. I'm going to do extremely simple gameplay just so that you guys can tell what we're trying to do. And I'm also going to mute the song because yeah, we don't want any song. And now we want it to go from here all the way up to there. Now I'm going to be teaching you guys how you can make like really cool and fun gameplay as well, because this is a very controversial gameplay element, like the tower going left and right and you have no idea where you're going to come from. I'm going to tell you guys how you do all of these guys so that your level basically gets almost no hate. So let's say this was the thing, and there are multiple ways of doing it. You can come from here and then, you know, arrive from there so that it's only a right side tower. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it so that you basically go up like that. So first step is we're going to have to make the camera static, because right now it is moving, so we're going to have to make it static. So to do that, it's actually very simple. You just want to add any block, literally anything. Let's just add this X. We're going to give it a group ID of 2 by going to the edit group. And then we're going to select the static edit object and do 1. And now the camera is going to be fully static on the object that has the group ID of 1, which is this. But we want 2. So we want to do 2. And now the camera is fully static, which is perfect. But we want it to go up and down, but not on the left and right, which means only Y. So that means actually only X, because we're gonna have to lock the X because we want to have the Y still enabled while having the X disabled. So when using the tower, just like RobTop did, I highly recommend you guys zoom out using the zoom trigger. Very simple, just do 0.7 maybe. Oh yeah, this is a good scale, just so that you have enough space to see. You know, in here 1 2 3 4 5 6 blocks is enough. Like you have enough time to see when you arrive and when you let go. You could do a bit less, like 5 blocks, but yeah, I think 5 is enough. So you want to also make sure that the duration for that is also 0, and with that we have created this. Now again, I'm not really focusing too much on the gameplay, so just to make sure that I actually jump on the right time, I'm going to add this spike. And now, how do we make ourselves teleport up? And also, we're going to have to go reverse. So there are a lot of different ways to do it. You can use the arrow trigger or the teleport trigger, this one, or you can just manually move the player up. And from what I can remember, RobTop actually used the slopes method. And one thing that I also would highly recommend is you guys add a camera guide trigger right here. Check out the zoom. So we did 0.7 and then just input here 0.7. And this is going to basically show you where the camera is gonna be. So this is the lines, and we're gonna make sure that, so all of this is gonna be invisible. Actually, you can see that a tiny bit is still gonna be visible, but all of these are gonna be invisible. So if you do the mechanic over here and basically just make the player go up, it should be pretty fine. So really, it doesn't really matter how you do it. All that matters is that you end up coming from the left side. And of course, we're going to have to use the arrow trigger. And you're just going to have to basically do this. And that basically means the direction is going to be to the left and the gravity is going to be normal. If you do this, it's going to be upside down. And so now you guys will see that we're going to start going to the left. But yeah, we're not quite making it there. So just add like, I don't know, these guys, and like stack them up if you want to, or if you want to go even crazier, you can just get rid of all of this and make sure that you actually just teleport there by basically adding this thing, giving it 3, and using a teleport trigger right here. Just add 3, and this is basically going to just teleport the player to here. And let's just see what's going to happen. I'm also going to make the static trigger a touch trigger so that it only happens once you actually touch it. And you guys saw that it actually worked. So I'm actually going to bring this back to here just because I wanted to see what's going on. So the teleport trigger, go to edit object. Actually, I mean edit group, extra, and then no effects. And that's basically going to disable that flashy effect that you guys saw. And now you guys saw that we just teleported there, which is beautiful. But it wasn't that smooth and didn't really work that well. Reason being is because we're just instantly jumping up, which is honestly not ideal for the camera. So to fix that, what we're going to do is we're going to make the camera static on 2, which is this thing. And we're going to make, actually, I'm going to get rid of this. And I'm going to give the group all the way to this guy so that the camera is static on this one. And now you guys can see that we just have to like move this up so that it basically is in there. Very easy. So we're going to move group 2, add a move trigger, edit object 2, and just do move it up by 40, ease in and out. And it's not going to work until you go to the static and actually make it follow. You can also add a beautiful easing, even a velocity modifier, which is going to make it really smooth. You guys saw the camera moved. I'm just going to hide this so you guys can see the camera only and its movement. It is super duper smooth. But we don't want it to move that fast. We just want it to be slowly just going up like so, perhaps. So now you guys can see that it's indeed starting to go up. And we came all the way from there without suspecting anything. It doesn't really look like we're just teleporting there. So now let me just do a few of these guys because just using different gameplay elements. By the way, if you have an object like this, you can go here, align X, and that basically just going to make them all have the same distance between each other. Like this, align X, and beautiful. Just a small tip dropped over here. And we're going to teleport from there. Beautiful. And now you're using the arrow trigger. So how do you pulse? Let's say as soon as you arrive here, you want to pulse the background to like red. Or let's say gray. How do you do that? If you do this, it's not really gonna work. It's gonna do some weird issues because you want to time it with here. So that's a bit complicated because it uses the channel system. I have a full video explaining that, but what you need to do is click this, go to edit object and change the channel to 1. And what this is gonna do is as soon as you hit it, any trigger that does not have the channel 1 is going to be ignored. So this one, we need to make it on channel 1 over here using the edit group. And now you guys can see that it doesn't actually play. But if you do this thing, you guys see that we passed this, but it doesn't play because it's on channel 1. And the default channel is 0. So you need to switch to 1 and then it plays. So we're going to do like a pink one because I'm going to do one over here as well. We're going to have to make the channel 0. And this one's going to be yellow. Why? Because yellow orbs. Just to demonstrate, if you guys want to do like moving objects or anything, just give them the correct channel. So let's do one more. Let's go to the left because actually there's more to it. So let's say you have this thing and let's move it up like so, perhaps, I don't know. And now we want to move it to the left. But if you guys know how to do this, you guys are already on it. Because using this over here doesn't really make any sense because it's just going to start normally. So you're going to have to give it the channel of 1 and switch it to channel 2. So that this one is on channel 1, but it switches you to channel 2. And the teleport, we're going to put this over there, give it 4, 4. And the teleport, we're going to make it over here. Also, make sure that the teleport and this block are actually on the exact same X position, otherwise it's going to lead to some weird issues, so just make sure you do that. Also the sync then is going to be perfect. And now we have this thing, we want to teleport you to 4, right? So we're going to teleport you to 4 and the channel is going to be 1, so that let's see if this is going to work or if I missed something. So I came from there, it pulses to pink, and I came from up there. Beautiful. Now we're just going to move the camera even more. Now, one thing I suggest is not moving the camera while the player is playing, unless it's very slow. So I'm going to move this to here, and I'm going to make it a bit faster. Let's see how this is going to play. So just mess around with it and see. So it goes up. Okay, that's beautiful. If you want to make it like constantly go up, you can do that too. I'm going to add 2 triggers. One of them is going to do it really slow, so that it's always going up, but especially in these parts, it's just gonna go up like really a lot. And we're gonna do that in here as well. Channel 1, And this one, of course, is going to be red. We're going to do that, this, align on the X, copy and paste this one, channel 2, and we're going to make it pulse to red, like so. And let's see how that plays. Just make sure the camera is always visible and you can always see what the heck is going on, because otherwise it's going to be, people are really going to hate your level. And now the player doesn't really know where you're going to come from, because you made the level, you obviously know the gameplay, you obviously know where you're going to come from and all that, but somebody who has never played your level is not going to know that. So it's very important that you add indications. And I'm going to use the particle trigger over here. We're going to select this thing. We're going to make the size like 15. We're going to bring all of these to 0, extra, and then start size equal to end. We're going to bring this one to 0, that one to 0, and this one to 0, and we're going to make it a bit faster. You can choose the speed that you want and then reduce the particle, click on calc, and this should create this thing, reduce the particles even more, and reduce them even more, and just increase the lifetime. Make sure this one is also at 0, increase the lifetime, and yeah, that's a cool particle. Now, click calc after you've finished everything and just increase this by 1 or 2. But fade in, fade out 0.3 should look pretty cool. I'm going to make it green, visual, green, start color, and green for the end color of the particle. And this is beautiful. Copy and paste it, do this, and then it's on the other side so that the player knows exactly where they're going to come from and where they're gonna get out from. So just so you guys know, and this is pretty obvious now that you're gonna come from here and go from there. What you could also do is add, okay, this is gonna be very cool. So we're gonna add particles that are gonna just play randomly. It's gonna be a random particle that's gonna play before the player comes. So we're gonna do something like this. We're gonna make it really big. We're going to add a bit of a fade out. We're going to add a random rotation at the end. We're going to scale them up a bit. And we're going to make them not infinite. We're going to do this. And we're going to do 0. And we're going to click on max. And then you're going to like change the speed variation so that it looks like this. And now what you want to do is give that a group ID. Let's say you give it 5. And then you want to select this particle right here with the arrows, and if you don't have that icon, just go to here and hide particle icons. On the PC it's F4 just as a shortcut, and let's give this a group ID of 6. And now we're gonna add a spawn particle right here, and we're gonna spawn this right here. So we're gonna spawn 5 on 6. So click here, edit object, 5 on 6. The particle is 5, the position we want is 6, and we're going to change the rotation to 90. This, of course, let's see how that's going to play, and we don't see it because it's probably minus 90. We could do match rotation, but I'm not too sure exactly if that's going to work. Oh yeah, now you guys saw that the particles played, and one issue that I have is that it's playing way too off. So let's try an offset X of minus 11 so that we spawn it a bit further to the left. And yeah, that sounded pretty cool. So that the player just knows it. Like the player has to be 100% sure that he's gonna come out of that side. You can even like do it like that. And we're gonna spawn the same thing right over here, we said, and this one, of course, channel 1, never forget that. And this time the rotation is going to be 90 and the offset is going to be plus 10 or 11. And now before you come, you're going to see these particles which are going to play and letting you know that why is this not working. It's probably because it's always minus 90 because we like rotated the particles. So I guess it's taking the rotation from that too, or it's just not working at all because I forgot to set this to a group ID as well. That's also an option over here. Let's see it now. If this doesn't work, then I don't know, man, but you should slap the sub right now. I would highly recommend that. And of course it didn't work because it's minus 90. You're gonna be kidding me. But now this one spawns and we wait and no particles. Why? Because we changed the wrong one. This one should be 7 and now it's again 90. You're gonna be kidding me. What's going on? Okay, so if an issue like this happens, you guys just check your groups. Like if this happens, just look at this. This is 5 and this is 7. So 5 should spawn at 7 and not 7 at 5, because it's going to be weird. It's going to spawn it in here and it's not really what we want. So I'm going to move this even more just to give you enough time to react. I also would recommend just adding, you know, random spikes over here so that the player doesn't fall down, because falling down is gonna lead to some issues. You might like fall in here and like continue on to the other parts. So you could also like add a saw blade that gets enabled. We can do that real quick. I'm gonna add this, give it the group ID of 8, disable it by default using the toggle trigger, and as soon as you reach here, we're gonna enable it using the toggle trigger but activate group. And of course, we're going to make it hidden. And of course, this one's going to be, it doesn't have to be channel 1 because, yeah, I can also enable right there. And now there is a saw blade that you can't see, but if you fall, you're going to die. So that's also always necessary so that there is no issues. And is there anything else that I missed? I really don't think so. If I have, you can just slap it down in the comment and I'll see it. Also, make sure all of these, selecting them all, make them hidden using the hide and F4, and honestly looks pretty cool. I'm just gonna add an end trigger right here, and if you want to exit out of all this mess, what you have to do is simply use the static, copy and paste it over here, and use exit static. Use a very nice easing, or you can have like a complete transition. What channel is it? It's channel 2, and give it channel 2, and yeah. You can even use the arrow trigger later in here to just change the channel back to 0. But yeah, you can really play around with that to see if you want to do that or not. So let's just see. So I'm going to always move these particles away from where the player could see. And now there's going to be an issue again that I have forgot to see. And it's that these blocks are like fading in and out. And to fix that, you just add this thing. And that should disable all the fade in, fade out, enter effects, and with that we have created a beautiful tower level, as you guys can see, and it kind of moves up every time the player is in transition, which is absolutely phenomenal. Does not break the gameplay. So you guys saw the camera exit was really bad, so placing a spike where the end trigger was, like here, would be an absolute disaster, because just like I would recommend putting it in here and making it slow, and maybe use a zoom back to normal really slowly. You can even if you want to go crazy, you can start doing it over here. You really want to make sure that the player sees what's ahead and knows exactly what's going to happen with his icon, because with 2.2 you can just slam his icon all the way to somewhere else. Okay, this is channel 2, this is channel 2. And with 2.2 you can pretty much like mess up the icon. You can move him to wherever you want. So it's pretty cool, but of course it comes with issues if we don't know how to use it, which is why I'm doing tutorials, so that you guys can know how to create these beautiful tutorials that you guys want to achieve. So I would say don't forget to like, the subscribe. I also have an editing plugin that you can get yourself. You can support me with that as well. And feel free to rewatch this tutorial as many times as you want, and I will see you guys in one of those playlists that are currently on the screen. I would highly recommend you guys watch them because they are cool, first of all. Second of all, they're going to teach you a lot about the GD editor. So whether you're a beginner or not, I would highly recommend you guys check them out. So yeah, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed. See you guys in the next video. Subscribe.